Firefly. Well, we'll kind of pass it at an angle. Show you right here. Firefly. The old school electronic technology that you drive around this thing on your car to get extra cash. Right here. Leading to Utopia, that kind of stuff. I was gonna get one when I was a Uber driver, but you have to bear the weight of those things, or probably you have to maintain them. I don't know if you lease them or you buy them. Probably, maybe both, I don't know. Probably, I would guess you pay a fee and they just give it to you. And then you attach it to your vehicle. When I was an Uber driver, that might have made me a little extra. They have a GPS on them and then they tell you where to go. Or they'll work with you, I think, on direction. They advertise business. So it goes on the car. Okay. I'll get that shoelace. You want me to get the shoelace out of the way now? We go ahead and do that? Okay, we'll get in the car. I know, they're new and they're narrow, even though they're supposed to be a wide.
They're short shoelaces, they're not like the others.
Short shoelaces? Shoulders kind of... I need a little bit of adjustment, so it's like... kind of thing. It's like... Well... Shucky. Boy, what would happen if it's like, hey, come over to dinner? Well, my wife does this. Get out of my house. Like, I'm never going over that guy's house again. Freaking ER doctor. Chinese food, and then we're gonna drop it right at your door from Szechuan. So I was talking about the Beatles right here. And I talked about Blackbird and Hey Jude from the album Hey Jude, 1968. Right there, it's parked right there. Right down the way from Szechuan. Szechuan Chinese. Szechuan Chinese. It's where Jane Goodall, hung out. We're about to ask questions. Hey, trunk. I'm opening. Got it? Arrogant, greedy, that mother effer. That's what that doctor is. He's a mother effer. This place right here. What do you know about Jane Goodall right here?
Not much. Yeah.
That's another movie star. Did they ever tell you anything? Like anybody?
No, I wasn't here.
Who is the gentleman? He's the owner?
That's the owner, yes.
Okay, so he knew her.
Not personal.
Well, he knew her from at least the restaurant.
Just a short time.
Well, that's nice. All right. Yes, God bless. He's somebody too, right there. I would have left it open. But you don't know the before and after. Jane Goodall might have. We'll go Nah, she made the right decision. It was this one. Very good, Linda. I don't know if this one. No. We're gonna have to go with the larger one. It'd be too sticky. So I thought you were right, sweetie. But it's actually gonna be the trunk for this one. Now, about Kirk Alexander, if I were you, I would not go into a theater of any type, especially a live theater. It would not be good for you. Also, I probably would stay out of movie theaters too. If you want to stream things, you go ahead, but I'd stick to YouTube because you're probably going to be famous. That's Firefly. Where did you get the water?
Your first pickup.
Oh, Ninja. Ninja Grill. What is this, second? Szechuan second?
Second.
You sure?
Yes. It's on my bin too.
Okay. Ninja and then Szechuan. Because we started late because of the ER. Ready to go through drama. Had to go walking through South Lake Square to find that she made it to a Home Depot.
That's probably be an Uncle Julio's.
Telling Linda about what Paul must have gone through to write the epistles, and he got his head chopped off in the end of it, and they told him he was going to do that. That's why I'll never go to the Middle East. James Knockway, photographer, he's a war photographer, don't know how he did it. His partner got killed. The partner was with the video. Jim Knockway was still photo. So Jim Knockway was actually using still photo, but he was very quick. He would like move around like this, and he's like taking photos like crazy. He'd take like a series of photos. He has an exhibit. He has a few of them in New York. He's a war photographer, but his partner was killed. They used a moped to get around. I've seen some of the footage. James Knockway, also Jim. They call him Jim. Greatest photographer ever existed. He would be there before the police would be there. Take photos of the police coming in on the crime scenes in New York until he shipped off to the Middle East to capture the 40-year war. Imagine what he went through. Pretty nice. All right, there's our Chinese food. Good to go on that one. Probably about 2. Speaking of Jane Goodall, got some banana eating the side of it right here. They're not around anymore. Hello. Yes, I'd like to order. Alright, so this is the title of it right here. Pluto's. And they're right next to Bombay's. So I can pull out this way and just walk over here. Bombay's right here. Bombay Grill Indian. Over here is the Sushi Axiom that I've done mini drops. Sushi Axiom is Japanese. So that's what we're doing, Bombay. But we're waiting at Pluto's. That's a closet, so you can buy clothing right here. I told them I'd put them in the show tomorrow. So, all right, we'll see. There's a Goo Goo Dolls copyright. You'll see here it's China. It used to be in England only. They make them in China. Made in Vietnam.
I used to have mine to the bed bugs.
It used to be only England. Made in Vietnam. That's sacrilegious. They have Doc Martens, but they're made in Vietnam. We'd only buy them if they're made out of England. I'll never buy a pair unless it's made out of England. But the cool thing is that they look very similar, but they did redistribute the whole company and do the third-party sales coming out of like Vietnam and China. I know, but it's copyright. All right, we can't listen to the Goo Goo Dolls. Well, not unless they block our content. I don't know if that means. This is Bombay Grill. I got to pick up Indian food and drop it at your doorstep. Those were Doc Martens. What eye? 10-eye, 12-eye, 14-eye? I know there was, what, 3-eye, 6-eye, 7-eye, 8-eye? No, there wasn't 7. It'd be 8, 10, 11. Then they have slip-ons. It's not with your elbow. Yeah, watch the elbow. Sorry, I've had 2 mime instructors. I'm worried about posture all the time. You can tell. See, I'm doing the crew right here. That's the form of the crew. The labor pose. Kinda. I got photos of it back in the day when I was in Gambia, Ohio. I studied from Marceau's people. True story. Got kind of Indian food. Learned that from Greg Goldston. Mime in New York. Anne Hathaway studied with him. The greatest mime ever, other than Marcel Marceau. Don't tell Mel Brooks. But do tell Greg. Shoot, right on right here. You have to study mime if you're going to be an actor. In my book, study it now. Mark Wahlberg, Cooper, Anne Hathaway's already studied it. Get on top of it. She's going to be better, like 5 times better. If you understand the body, then you understand mime. Study mime, 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 mime first. Or pantomime. If you can study from Marcel Marceau's spirit, call upon him. Other than that, Greg Goldston. You could try Johnny Simons out in Lake Worth, but he's old. He used to drink, but probably not as much anymore. He can teach you a little bit of it and the mime mask of movement. And he's good. But Greg, mean genius. He's actually nice. He does this. He doesn't like when I do that. All the way from Michigan. You're all the way from Michigan.
It's missing the one.
It's Montana. It's Montana. They're all the way from Montana. They saw the Chinese balloon, the Chinese weather balloon in Montana. Robert Redford had a ranch there, and so did a guy named Sam Shepard. Montana, that's where they all go.
No, you're missing the one.
It's a Montana.
The 1 and the 3 and the 82. That
All
says God.
the way from Montana.
It says God at the end.
Oh, it does. 60D. It says 60D. All the way from Montana. Look at that guy. Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall's still alive. Did you know that? She's still studying chimpanzees.
I know, don't drive with a freaking lollipop in your mouth.
I know, really. You start acting like a chimpanzee. I like gorillas better. Sigourney Weaver, boy. Alien, #1, 1970s, late 70s, I'm guessing 79. Sexy beast, sexy woman.
Pick up that piece.
Playing Sigourney, or she was Sigourney Weaver, but she is Sigourney Weaver. But, man, Alien, though. You ever seen Alien, the original? Ridley Scott, I believe, it was behind that. Went the wrong way, going the wrong way, going the wrong. How do you know which way we're going? You're going the wrong way. Jane Goodall was her name. Sigourney Weaver, gorilla. I don't know. You drop them on somewhere that have packaging on it. It's got a little plastic packaging, so it'll last for a while. She likes to hide food in the car, kind of like this guy I know. His son would hide food in his cheek. It's a true story. And he'd put food like a chipmunk in his cheek and hide it. Store it in his mouth for a little bit later. His dad was like a 150-pound pastor, minister, hot-headed minister, saying, you better follow the Bible. Now, Isaiah, what's his name, Isaiah? Judah, no, his name was Judah. I always forget the third son, though. Isaiah, Judah, I can't remember the third son for some reason. I think Judah's the cutest. Well, because when you hide food in your mouth like a chipmunk.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
I get the point. When you hide food in your mouth like a chipmunk, that's pretty cute. Little kids do weird things like that. They'll hide food in their mouth like a chipmunk. Man, that's amazing. That was Judah. Then there's Isaiah. I wish I could remember the third name. I was thinking about it like for an hour one time. Because he is the pastor, or he is our pastor, but he has 3 beautiful children, or, I'm sorry, 3 beautiful boys and then a girl. I can't think of the girl's name right now either. Josh's kids, he has 1 son and 4 girls. Can't think of any other names. Just know that the wife's Andrea. But one of them, okay, I believe the son means the same name as healing. I want to say that's what they named him. It means the same name as healing. Because God heals, and he healed Andrea, and so Andrea was able to have a baby the 5th time because she had suffered for cancer, or she suffered of cancer. And then she had the child, and it came out to be a boy. So it was 4 tries. He had 4 girls, and then he got a boy. but I'm trying to think of his name, and I just know it means healing. That's all I can remember right now. But I know he's a beautiful kid, and I remember my son's name, David, and then there's Elizabeth and Gwendolyn. My 2 girls and my boy, David. Basically talking about something that happened 8 years ago. Okay.
She's a registered nurse. She's an activist.
She's an activist for...
Parental allegation.
What is that exactly?
To support people that steal your kids and run away.
And then try to profit off of you by asking for
Correct.
what's known as child support.
Correct.
That's parental allegations.
Parental
Right.
allegations.
So why would someone steal someone's kid and then ask for money?
I don't know about the money situation.
But why would
It was
someone
only
do
a
it
few
though? If you
months.
look at the Bible, why would someone take someone's or why would someone take their kids away? They'll take their children away, and let's say ask for money. Is it because that other person's a sinner? It's because that person cannot forgive. That person is living without any forgiveness in their heart. Because love, there is no records of wrong in love. You cannot keep a record of wrong in love. And that includes marriage. What it means is that person was probably trying to profit off the other person if they're making money off the other person's social. So if they go and sue someone, like if I go sue Kirk Alexander for pushing me and hurting my shoulder, then I'm making a profit off his profession. Because, but sometimes people have to. Sometimes people, they've had enough, and then they go, okay, that's enough. But they become in a situation where they can. But I don't think a Christian can sue anybody because they can put them in a lot of misery. But they can tell. They can tell on someone's behavior because they can lose their job if they are mean. But suing is way worse than losing your job. He's not a doctor anymore. Two major things the doctor did that was wrong. The one thing that he did was that he went into the room alone with Linda, which is very, very dangerous for a doctor to do. The nurse was there. She was older. So she left the room for a moment, and then I went in. When I went in, I told the doctor the truth that I am the husband of Linda Spivey. He said, okay, well, I said, and I'm also a Baptist, and I don't feel it's right that a man should be alone with another woman that's, of course, my wife. And he said, well, that's fine. She's who she is. Same as Alexander Kirk. Somewhere in there is the name Jonathan. Now, what ended up happening was he said, well, I don't give an SHIT, which I don't like that on my show. I said, I appreciate it if you didn't talk that way. Don't talk that way in front of me. I'm offended by that. Then he jumped up and he grabbed my shoulders, and then he said, call the authorities. I'm going to have this man trespassed. In the Bible, we say, forgive our trespassers as we forgive those that trespass against us. You don't do that. You don't ever go into another man's, never do that. That's very evil. So, the sad part of the situation is that the doctor will have to forfeit his career as a doctor. He'll have his whole career. People work their whole life on a career. But he might can find something similar. If he wants to go around healing people, he doesn't need to grab their shoulders and throw them out of the ER. Linda's okay. Her thumb looks better. She's actually right
Yes,
here.
right. Yes. Mwah.
And we're gonna head over and drop some more food or items at your doorstep. God bless. Abortions are illegal. Abortions are evil, and they're given by the medical field. Abortions are wrong, and doctors that give abortions are not going to heaven unless they ask for forgiveness. And that, my friend, is very evil, to give an abortion. Tennessee Williams wrote about it. Even Tennessee Williams wasn't like the best guy in the world, but he knew what to write about. It's in Small Craft Warnings. It's a play that Tennessee Williams wrote about a doctor on the run, running from Samuel. You know, Samuel represents the law because David ran from Samuel. He's running from that force out there that enforces things. It's evil to do that to a man's wife, where you walk in and it's intimate and the man's sitting there looking at her. Don't take that and complain on that doctor. I made a complaint. So I filed the complaint with Texas Health. So Texas Health knows about it. And that file went through today. I filed it about 30 minutes after we left. He could have been a Methodist. That was a Methodist. It was Texas Health Methodist. I have been around some Methodists. They get irritable. He was pretty mad, but Linda's thumb looks okay. She has a Band-Aid. Do you want to show the Band-Aid? Okay. We take this serious. Okay, that's why. But she's okay. She's walking around. I don't want her wearing the Band-Aid for too long, especially when you're at work. You don't want to just, you know what happened last time. One time when she was working, where was it? Subway?
It was day 4.
Day 4, where?
At Subway.
And you were still working with the stitches?
Yes.
I don't want to go
The
back.
doctor.
There's no way that you were still working with the stitches. No, you went to talk.
For 2 hours.
Anyway, she went back to work and her thumb did not look, this is when it did have stitches in. It looked kind of scary. So what we found out was don't put a rubber thumb condom on the thumb.
It wasn't a condom. She gave me the rubber condoms, but I used a glove that you gave me.
Right. I gave her a blue glove. And we were trying to cover it to keep the food out of the stitches. Boy, it got kind of puffy, and so we said stop, stay at home. So she stayed home for about 10 days, as muchly as possible. And it basically got a little better. Home Improvement is playing. Tim Allen, Home Improvement. And this, look at this kind of stuff right here. We're in Waterside. Right there, look at that. Oh yeah, we'll try this one over here. Yeah, okay. I guess there's a after hours thing. But anyway, that right there is brilliant. They have them on Waterside. But you gotta watch out. They have Bose speakers everywhere. It's copyright city, copyright infringement. We're gonna find a pee place. We're gonna find urination holes. There's a river over there. It's called the Trinity. You can pee in the Trinity. We'll be like those Indians. It'll be like the Ganji. We'll be baptizing people and going, jumping around. You know how they do, the Baptists, the old school Baptists. Watch, well, I'm not going to recommend Last Temptation of Christ. I don't recommend that. I was going to say, watch Last Temptation of Christ. That's how Martin Scorsese saw the Baptists. They're all like going, even though I am doing that. John the Baptist is running around going, hey, prepare ye a way for the Lord. That Methodist got mad. They do that. Look at this right here. call Alex Kendrick. This is the parking garage, as I say it. We have to go to the Wi-Fi. Look at this. Texas native Dan Rather. Tougher she's get things tough. How matter no. We're gonna look at it. No matter how tough things get, she's tougher. Dan Rather, Texas native. Dan Rather, the king of media. I always think about Dan Rather's name. Like, you know how you say, well, I'd rather go to Whole Foods to get my bread and bananas because it's just better. I'd rather swim in the Trinity River with a full-on rubber suit because it's better. You know, that's what I always think about when I say rather. I think of Dan Rather. What? Yeah, they're closed. It's okay, doggy. We have a cat. Yeah, he could smell the cat. The hound's barking. What's the dog's name?
His name's Jude.
Jude. It's a pretty name for a dog.
Jude.
I don't know if I'd want to come back as a dog. I'd rather do a cat. Anyway, yeah, we'll check it out. Thank you. Oh, can we show her? Can we show you our show?
Or what?
We have a show.
Oh, I'm headed inside.
Okay, well I'll just tell it to you then. Einstein on a bicycle. Einstein on a bicycle. I thought that right. That's hard to say. I thought that while riding my bicycle. I thought that while riding my bicycle. I thought of that while riding my bicycle. I thought of that while riding my bicycle. Oh, we're looking for a restroom.